Hey guys, and welcome to another video with Spartan086, and today we're doing Forces of Valor's M1A1 Abrams. Woohoo! The big bad boy. So we're nearing the end of my collection, only a few more tanks to go, and a few aircraft and the helicopters, and then that is us. And we have done all of my water slings collection until the next one comes out. So, try to make this as enjoyable as I can for you guys. So, we'll get into it. So, a wee bit of history to the M1. It's named after General Crichton Abrams, who is well known for his, how could you say, his command of Vietnam after he took over from Westmoreland. He is also well known for his almost cavalry charge into Bastogne on his tank Thunderbolt, at the head of the 3rd Army, General Patton's army, to relieve the 101st. So that's what the tank's named after. A wee bit more to the vehicle. The concept came out of MBT-70, which was a joint venture between the United States and West Germany, which came to nothing. Germany went their way, America went theirs. Germany ended up with a Leopard 2, and America came out with the Abrams. So, the M1 originally was supposed to be armed with a 105mm rifle gun, which was a copy of the British L7. But obviously, as time went on, realising it lacked the firepower, they decided to take a copy of the Leopard 2s of Rheinmetall's 120mm smoothbore. Sorry, I cannot remember the name. I think it was L55. Decided to take a copy of that and put it on the Abrams, and it proved to be the best choice. Not taking away from the 105, but it lacks the fire punch. So another fantastic addition that came from the British was the Abrams' armour. In America, it's known as Winchester armour, but its real name is Chobham, from the plant in Surrey. So, when the British came up with this magnificent combination of meshed ceramic plates and steel and titanium, etc., of course we don't actually fully know what's in it because it's classified, the Americans went, "Oh, that looks awesome, let's put it on our tanks." And they did, and it became one of the best protected tanks in the world, and this is what you get today. So the vehicle went into service in the 80s, made its debut in the 1991 Gulf War, where it absolutely smashed through the Republican Guard. It served on to Bosnia, Kosovo, where it made appearances. It then made another magnificent run in Iraq during Operation Iraqi Freedom, and has been pretty much as the mainstay of the American Armed Forces, the armoured units. Most recently, obviously, we all know that the United States Marine Corps has decided to do away with their armoured branch. A bit of a sad one for them. So, it is a shame. So obviously now, the Americans upgraded theirs a couple of times. So it went from the M1, which was the one on 105, well, it was the XM1 with 105. They upgraded it to 120mm, and that became, went on to, the M1A1, which is the one in front of us. And then, obviously, realising that things had progressed a lot more than they wanted, they had to upgrade the tank again, and that became the M1A2. And I'll get to that in a wee bit. So, obviously, during the Iraq War, the second Iraq War, the tank was put in a position that it's not really made for. It was put in an urban environment, surrounded by enemies who were adapting quickly to the situation. Now, this went with all units of all the forces that were involved, not just the Americans, but the British, Romanians, Ukrainians, etc. They all had to come to a realisation that the Iraqis were getting very good and very quickly, and America started to take a lot of losses. Now, a couple of tanks were taken out during the initial invasion, either by friendly fire or by lucky shots, or sometimes by the Iraqis using their heads. But as the situation deteriorated and the insurgency picked up, the Americans started realising they were getting hit pretty badly by the insurgents, and they decided to upgrade the tank. So the M1A2 got an add-on package, which became TUSK I, which was a set of armour plates which ran down the side here. It was not just armour plates, sorry. It was extra ERA, explosive reactor armour, that ran down the side of the tank. But when they realised that this wasn't giving 100% protection, they decided to upgrade that, and that became TUSK II. But also they upgraded it more, that the vehicle got added on more protection, not just to the tank but also to the commander and the gunner, and to help them in a situation with ground infantry. So what I'm about to show you is a Forces of Valor tank that I did upgrade, and I have put pictures on the Instagram account. So let me say hello everybody to the M1A2 TUSK II. So as you can see, it's got the TUSK plates on the side, explosive reactor armour plates, which are curved almost like house tiles that you get on the roof. It's also got Commander's Port, which has got the added protection. Obviously it's got the almost all-round visual, but also gives a protection. He's got a 50 cal, which has got protection as well, so you can see what he's doing. Then you've got obviously the gunner's seat, or loader I should say, his seat there, so he can provide protection to the vehicle. You've got the added on optics here at the front. I should also say all this kit actually came from 135 TUSK II, which I decided to upgrade to this. So if anybody's asking, Forces of Valor don't make these, you have to do them yourself. Also you've got the signal patches, identification markers. You've got the added on 50 cal for ground support role, and you'll see the ECM package here. Now the ECM package is partly to do with the vehicle and partly my own build. Now the vehicle didn't actually come with the full design for the ECM. You only got this pole here, and if you look in modern ones, they've got a lot more antennas and signal jammers in place. So I've had to build a couple, and they don't look great, but they do the job. So that's the main thing. So you can see there's a couple of unit markings. It's called Ghetto Blaster. Give it a good wee coat of paint, and that's that. So that's what the Americans ended up building too, was the M1A2 TUSK II. So the vehicle did well, and America's now talking about upgrading it to the M1A3, which is all out there. So if I can't even comprehend the things that it's talking about, where supposedly the gun can max out to 10 kilometers. Don't even know where to go with that. So if you're interested in that, obviously give it a wee research and have a look up. So now we'll go into the Forces of Valor version. So you can see you've got the three in front of me. Obviously you've got the two modern camouflage. They actually come from the 2003 invasion. So they brought German units from the 1st Armoured Division in Germany. I think that was it 1st Armoured or 3rd? I think it was 1st Armoured. It was a unit based in Germany, so I'm sorry to anybody from America who's watching. Apologies, I should have done my research on that. So, sorry about that. So, obviously these come from the 2003 invasion. So, obviously at the time the guys were arriving, they didn't really have a lot of time to change the vehicles up, give them a bit of paint to it. So they just went into battle as so. This version's called Big Hitch. So, if anybody knows that one, awesome. Turned out pretty well, surprisingly, for later versions with Unimax. Paint job was pretty good. Woodland camo is good. not too shabby in general. This is actually my newest edition. This actually only came the other day there for me, so I'm quite happy with it. There's no real damage, everything looks intact. A couple of wee things were missing, so obviously you've got the 50 cal and the Jimpy on top, or from Americans it would be the Mike 240 Bravo. So you can see this is the other version of the big hitch. Obviously it's got the 240 on top, it's also got its antennas and some other things. This was actually an absolute bargain for me. I bought this for a fella in England who I think was just getting divorced or something, because he basically gave it to me. Ended up posting me a $5 back to say he overcharged. So it just tells you something. The guy was obviously not wanting to remember it, or another reason, we'll go into that. But overall it's a good way they've done it. It's a wee bit dusty, apologies for that, but the vehicle it turns out very well. It's a good one to have in the collector's edition. So we'll put that up there, and then we'll move on to the original. So this was the first version that was brought out by Unimax Forces of Valor. This is based on Desert Storm, and as you can see they did a pretty decent job on it. Obviously you've got the sand effect at the bottom here, you've got unit markings, allied identification markers, the US symbol, a lot of grease and dirt at the top, especially around the points of hatches, etc. So overall did a very good job on this, very happy with it. It's one of my favourites, and to any of our American subscribers, I'm sure if you're into forces, this bad boy was your saviour. Especially if it came rolling over the hill and just started malleting the enemy. So overall, Forces Valor did pretty decent with this one. It's a good one to get. It can go for about £30–40 here, so about maybe $60 in the States. A wee warning to people, listen, if you're looking at buying Forces of Valor and you're unsure of prices, I am more than happy to give you advice. I seen something on eBay recently, somebody trying to get rid of an M26 Persian for £150. Out of box, missing parts. So please don't ever buy something like that. I'm happy to answer questions. There's plenty of groups on Facebook who are more than happy to give you advice. So please don't just buy it for the sake of it. But overall, they're good, isn't they? So quite happy with that, and I hope everybody likes my wee modernised, customised version. And if you do, you can obviously go to the Instagram account, which is Model Tanks of Spartan 08601, and you can see the pictures I put up there of all the customised versions that I do. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any comments, please put them up. Not afraid to have anybody put anything up, even if it's critical. Please put it up within reason. Obviously don't come on the page and be abusive, you will just be swapped away, and I will post you on the internet and we will all make fun of you. I hope you're all well. Obviously the world's gone a wee bit funny again, and other places like here have gone into semi-lockdown. So wherever you are guys, please take care and look after one another, and until the next time, take care, bye bye.